Avengers Doomsday just dropped their trailer, and today on Popcorn and Root Beer, Brian and I are reacting to that and other news in the entertainment world. Let's get into it. Welcome into another edition of Popcorn and Root Beer. My name is Steve. I am your host, and today we are breaking news, and my co-host Brian is here with me today. Brian, we got the Doomsday trailer, kind of out of left field.
You know, I'm still riding high on all this Odyssey talk, and of course, Marvel had to come stick their nose in the news and say, "Hey, watch this." I wasn't expecting this at all. Just got off work a little bit ago, and all of a sudden saw it sitting there waiting. So I joined the already millions that have watched it in the first couple hours, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so before we get into the breaking news in the Hollywood world, we are going to be covering Avengers Doomsday, God of War, and as well talking a little bit of the Odyssey and its performance at the box office and with the critics. But before we do, please like, subscribe, and share to the whole channel. Make sure that you support myself and Brian and so much of our team that works so hard to bring you as good of content as we possibly can. A little support goes a long way. So comment below your thoughts on Doomsday, God of War, Odyssey, anything like that. We love hearing from you. But Brian, so we get the trailer, and it sounds like Downey threw an accent on for Doom. Like, it sounds like he's going real. It sounds like he's really committed to the bit here, which I'm excited about.
The mustache looked weird too. Like we get the side profile view too. It looked. I don't know. I haven't seen the full Downey look there in Avengers or the Iron Man look for a while. But I'm like, all right, are we getting an accent in completely like? Is this just going to be like some foreign variant of Tony Stark here? Or
I think so, because in the comics, Doctor Doom is from a place called Latveria, which is a like Eastern European country, kind of near Russia, I think. So I think we're going to be getting that for the whole time. I'm curious why it's a Tony Stark variant, like if it is at all, or if they were just like, it's not. But I can't imagine they would bring Robert Downey Jr. back unless this is a variant of Tony Stark. That like something happened that led him down this path to become Doom instead.
That's kind of what the vibe I was getting, like almost, when Thor was talking about it, like it sounds like he knows him, not just like he knows of Doom, but like he knows that like this is going to be even harder because it's Tony. Like, this isn't our Tony, but it's a Tony.
So many things, and we're just going to spoiler alert now, if you haven't seen the trailer yet. We get Chris Evans back as Captain America. We see Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as Magneto and Professor X. We see Channing Tatum back as Gambit. I think we get, oh my God, what's his name, as Cyclops.
We get Mystique in here. Our first look at
Mystique in there. Like all the a lot of original X-Men in this. We see the Fantastic Four meeting up with the Wakandans. We see Thor talking to the X-Men. Like, there's a lot going on in this trailer. And
the new Avengers are in here. The old Avengers are in here.
Yeah, this feels like, and they said that this is kind of a hard reset. So instead of like the end where Endgame was the ending, this is the beginning of something new. And my theory has always been that we're going to end up with Battle World at the end of this, which is when Doom basically collapses the multiverse into one and puts everyone on like one Earth and is like, duke it out, I don't care. So I'm really excited for this. I got like all sorts of goosebumps. Loki coming back. So the sacred timeline is obviously in play here because that's how Loki ended. Like the series ended with him fulfilling his glorious purpose. But
the fans can't be wanting anymore. They're gonna bring him back again. So many good little just the nuggets they're dropping on us here, and I guess I did see that this is officially happening after timeline wise after Spider-Man 4 that comes out here in just a week and a half.
And I've heard from like little snippets from the cast, like I think this upcoming Spider-Man plays a big part in setting up Doomsday. I love the marketing they're doing for Doomsday though. I love the countdown. I love like all that stuff. I mean, I'm a Marvel guy, so I'm not gonna pretend like I needed to be really pushed in the direction of being excited for this. But it gave me the goosebumps, gave me like some excitement. I don't know about you, but like, did this excite you? Did this trailer make you feel like, yes, like we're going for
It,
Doomsday?
it definitely brought me back to Endgame because I'm not gonna lie, there was definitely a huge crash after Endgame for me, just with Marvel because they started to ramp it up even harder with all of the series and just trying to keep up with it and going through those transition of like, look, we've had the base characters for so long. And now that you're telling me we just have a whole new set, it's like you got to give me some time to come back into it. So I've stayed up with it. I've seen all the Marvel movies that have dropped since then. But getting all the new ones that we're really excited about, but still getting, we get to see Chris Evans, we get to see the other Chris Hemsworth, all Chris Pratt. Where are you, buddy? We just need all the Chris's, the multitude that they're having in there.
Yeah.
But was it cool the way they dropped Downey? They walked away. It was awesome. But he's back. Whatever. I'll bite. I'll still be in the seat. I'll go still check it out. Could this be terrible and horrible? Maybe. Probably not, though. It's still going to be superheroes flying around. It's still going to be so many different that we're seeing. It's the nostalgia of bringing, like, the X-Men. We've wanted them back for so long, and this looks like this is, like you said, the opening, the beginning of something new, and they're even going to splash a little fun of Gambit in there, because, like, there's no way he's going to be the future of the X-Men in there.
Yeah, he's fighting Shang-Chi. Like, there's a lot going on. I thought it was really impressive that they showed Doom stopping Stormbreaker with 2 fingers. Like... Thor swings at him and he just kind of like stops it like it's nothing. So I'm really excited about that. Unfortunately, that's all the news we have on Doomsday because we don't know anything else, right? Like is what it is. We're still waiting for more information, and as more information comes out, we will absolutely bring that to you here. But let's talk about another exciting project, but that has hit a significant roadblock. God of War just lost their star to a torn bicep, and instead of delaying production, they've opted to just recast the role and refilm.
That's rough.
A bit rough.
I think it's one thing if it's like a movie or like a movie that's most likely could be like a standalone thing. But we're obviously seeing they're opening this up to see what kind of world that they can open up and do multiples. They can do stuff off of that, and you just lost it. You just lost your spot just based off, I didn't even see exactly how it happened, the torn bicep, but that's rough. You're going to be going home, sitting at home, rehabbing and looking for a new job.
It's weird to me that they would recast this where he could still act with a torn bicep. You know what I mean? Like he can still do a lot of stuff. Like my dad tore his bicep and didn't even he didn't even get surgery. He still can do stuff like, not as you can't like twisting motions are really hard when you don't have a bicep. But honestly, like that's what stunt people are for anyway. You probably didn't want this guy out there like doing 100% of the stunts anyway. So like to recast him just feels kind of dark.
Especially on a project that like this has been out there for so long. Them trying to get this picked up, get it moving, get something happening, because that's the new thing right now. It's video games. It's the adaptations of the video game world, bringing them in. God of War is a beloved game. It's been around forever, and the fact that they're just kind of getting this off the ground finally, I could see this like the momentum of like, no, we're not pulling back anymore. We have to get this done. We have to pull the trigger. So I understand it, but it sucks.
I just can't believe that like refilming everything would take less time than just like delaying like a little bit to let the guy like heal enough to just go. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy,
no kidding.
But I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. That's gonna be a fascinating one. I'm excited for the series though. Overall, I think it's gonna be good. I mean, they have great source material, so that should be fun.
Do you have a prediction of who you'd like to fill in that spot?
Yeah, if I got to pick anybody, I mean, Dave Bautista feels like the guy I'd want. I feel like he'd be great. I think he's a great actor. He's huge. Like he's not as big as he used to be, but he's still like a big guy. I feel like that's probably who I would want in that role, although it seems like he doesn't want to get like super mega massive anymore. So maybe he's a little bit old for the part, but like I don't know. Who else is out there that like you'd really want to see do this? Like we've seen like we know David Harbour can get into the shape to do it, but like do we want David Harbour to be?
That's the weird thing too, is like I feel like you're looking for somebody maybe sub 40, maybe not sub 30, but Yeah, like when you said Batista, I'm like, it sounds great, but like, yeah, how old is he again? You know, like
Depends
where's
on
the
where the
longevity of the
series starts. Because
franchise?
if it's like
Yeah,
if it's starting with like God of War, like the reboot where it's on PS5 and you get like Ragnarok and stuff like that, then you want an older guy. But if it's I mean this actor I don't think was like super old that got it.
no,
I think he was like
yeah, yeah,
40. So I feel like that's about the age range. So like I still could go Batista though and be pretty happy with it because I just don't know other you don't have a huge option, right? Like
no,
you need this
no.
massive mega guy who can also act and be super stoic and not boring. Like there's a lot of layers to this
Hmm.
character that makes it very difficult.
Yeah, you're not just looking for somebody with the muscles. You know, you do need the acting chops there, the charisma to go along with
Yeah.
it.
So that's a huge bummer. But one thing that is not a bummer, we always try to end on a little bit of a positive note here on Popcorn and Root Beer, as much as we can. The Odyssey. For all the noise that surrounded this movie, 260 plus $1 million opening weekend. I think it's Nolan's. It passed Oppenheimer, I think, for
Hmm.
success rate. Huge R-rated release. Very impressive overall. Holding above, I believe, 95% in both Rotten Tomatoes and Popcorn Meter. So fans love it. Critics love it. People are flocking to the theater. It just became the fastest movie to log, I think, a million.
On Letterboxd.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
Letterboxd. A million logs on Letterboxd. Sounds like Nolan really crushed it. And, we did our review and you can watch it, on the channel here. And we loved it. So, you know, banger job.
I've heard people give, minor critiques ish, the point where they're calling it, like, oh, it was a 7, it was an 8, it's a 9. I can respect that. But then I've heard a handful of people just trying to, oh, just trying to put it down like, oh, he's doing too much or they didn't, narratively like this. I'm like, no, you
Yeah.
weren't in the same theater. You weren't in the same theater. Like, you're just sit there and enjoy the movie. It's an epic. That's all there is
Yeah,
to
I
it.
don't think you can say it's a bad movie. I don't think you can in good conscience be like, this is a bad movie. I mean, all the numbers, all the metrics, everything about it. Like, it was a well-made movie. I mean, look at all the practical sets that they used. I mean, they flew to Iceland to film. Like, they actually buried actors alive for
Yeah.
the Hades scene. So
Crazy.
to say like it's a bad movie, I think you're just lying and you're just mad about other things that we've hashed out on this program before.
Which I understand. Like, there's some things that are universally loved. I'm just a hater, just to be a hater with those. So I get it. I fall on the right side of it this time.
Yeah, I try to go in and enjoy as many movies as I can, but this is not one that I had to be like, no, I liked it in spite of. I'm like, no, it was a good movie. I liked it.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, quick episode today for us though. But just wanted to get out here and talk to the people and let them know what's going on and start bringing some news along with some of our feelings here. So make sure again you like, subscribe, and share because we're going to try to bring you more news as well as our reviews. We have done the Odyssey. We have Spider-Man Brand New Day review upcoming. We are doing our weekly breakdown of Lucky. That comes out every Thursday. Brian, you do a Big Brother breakdown every Monday, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Try to push it out like late Sunday night. So if you watch the episode Sunday night, we'll be putting it out within hour and a half. So like really late Sunday night, really early Monday morning.
perfect. And so much more going on this channel, both at Popcorn and Root Beer and in between the screens. So please like, subscribe, and share. Comment below. Let us know your thoughts on Doomsday, God of War, Odyssey, and any other upcoming news that you may have or want to talk about. Brian, thank you so much for being here today. Little quick check-in for us. But
Absolutely.
for myself, for Brian, and Brian, I'll see you down at the expo this weekend. That's a wrap. Later.
Later.